She fatally stabbed her boyfriend 108 times and she got community service and probation. What the hell is going on? What's up, you guys? Welcome to today's video. As you can tell by the title in the first 2 seconds, we have a crazy one today. I kept seeing this story pop up all over my FYP. I had to do more research because that's freaking crazy. If you guys are new to the channel, hi, my name is Jess. I'm a person in long-term recovery who has in fact been to prison and has also smoked weed. Never been in a state of psychosis though. If you want to follow me on any other social media platform, TikTok, Instagram, Patreon, that's $2. It's only ever going to be $2. All of that is linked down below, as well as my vlog channel and my Facebook. Did I say Facebook? I don't know. All that shit's in the description box. Without further ado, let's kick this thing off. Okay, so I kept seeing this pop up all over my FYP and every single one of my content creator friends. I love y'all. You need to read the article, okay? Because if you take 2 seconds out of a news story or you read the headline and then form a violent opinion and make a bunch of videos about it without knowing any other information, you're part of the problem. This is just how fast news can spread. This is how fast misinformation can spread, and come on, y'all. Read the article. So this is what first popped up. And when you read that title, you're like, what in the fuck? How is that even fair? And you almost unintentionally form a really violent opinion, right? I'll be honest, when I read it, I'm like, this attorney is a genius. I've heard of meth psychosis before, probably been in meth psychosis before, but cannabis, bruh, that's not a thing. That's not real. That doesn't happen. But it probably does. It probably does. I mean, it clearly did here, because what some people are just not meant to smoke the devil's lettuce, okay? It's not for everyone. So essentially, her and her boyfriend were smoking, and she went into a psychosis, and she stabbed her boyfriend 108 times. And if you're like, Jess, I don't believe you, that is ridiculous. She also stabbed herself multiple times. She also stabbed her dog multiple times. And those important details of this case are the reasons why she got community service and probation for involuntary manslaughter. Let me read this article to you guys and then you be the judge. A California woman who was facing up to 4 years in prison for fatally stabbing her boyfriend more than 100 times during a drug-induced psychosis episode in 2018 was instead sentenced this week to 2 years probation and 100 hours of community service. Last December, Brian, I cannot pronounce her name. I'm sorry if you ever find this video. I suck at pronouncing names. It is pronounced Bryn, so I'm sorry that this is cringy this entire time. Was found guilty of involuntary manslaughter in the killing of her boyfriend, Chad, 26 of Ventura County. That's where Hollywood is from. On May 27th, 2018, prosecutors said, fatally stabbed Chad, an accountant, inside his Thousand Oaks, California apartment approximately 108 times after the couple had smoked marijuana together. How does that happen? She also repeatedly stabbed herself. According to the Ventura County Star, police officers who responded to the scene said they found old girl in a pool of blood holding a knife. They reportedly had to use a taser device and a baton to disarm her and take her into custody. During the trial, a medical expert testified that old girl's behavior was the result of cannabis-induced psychosis, the LA Times reported. According to the National Library of Medicine, a diagnosis of the disorder is given when hallucinations or delusions materialize shortly after consuming cannabis. So is she like hallucinating? I guess that's what that would mean. Wow, I'm dumb. Old girl's defense attorney claimed that their client was involuntarily intoxicated and that Chad had allegedly bullied and intimidated her into smoking the last bit of marijuana, which that's hearsay. In my personal opinion, we don't know what went down. We only have her account of it and then what the cops saw afterwards, right? Chad's family faced old girl in court at Tuesday's sentencing hearing, where she expressed remorse. My actions have ripped your family apart, she said, per the Ventura County Star. I am broken and aching inside. I hurt that you never see Chad again. Shane O'Meal, the victim's brother, grieved his loved one at the hearing and shared the difficulties of knowing old girl had been out on bail since her arrest in 2018. It's been 5.5 years where she has got to live with her family and we get to live with a box of ashes. Oh, that's so true. From that point forward, she had no control over her actions, he said, referring to the moments after she had smoked the portion of marijuana, per the Ventura County Star. Old girl's attorney, Michael Goldstein, agreed calling the sentence a fair and accurate reflection of conduct that he claims was out of his client's control. Every lawyer is going to say that. Like, good job, you win. Okay. These cases are so hard because two families are, grieving in a very different way. While she gets to go home, yes, she's also a completely different person and probably traumatized from this. And the other family is mourning the loss. Chad will never come home again. All they have is ashes. It's just a horrible situation, and I feel for both families. When we were talking about a murder case, these cases have to be heard in a court of law. Experts have to testify. You have to go, throughout the crime scene. It's not like a judge looked at this case, felt bad for her, and just gave her some probation. No. Also, this was like 5 years ago, and she was just finally sentenced. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that maybe COVID kind of slowed that up. Usually, cases like this are heard within like a year or two. But anyway, back to my point here. When you guys see articles like this pop up, please understand that a psychologist had to testify, medical examiners had to testify, body cam footage was shown, a toxicology report was probably submitted. There's a million pieces of evidence that lead to a judge having that ruling. From everything that I saw in this, it's pretty clear that she was not in control of what she was doing because she was also hurting herself. If this was like some random act of violence that her attorney tried to, blame weed for, then I'd be like, okay, well, that attorney's a genius and that judge is gullible. But when you look at all of the evidence, I think that this is just one of those really rare, weird occurrences. I've heard of people smoking too much or taking too many edibles and literally having to be hospitalized from it. It's like it was just like a freak thing, and what I think is especially cruel is that the internet just took that one little headline and ran with it. And I don't know I obviously can't speak for how she feels, but if that was me, I'd be like, Jesus Christ, y'all didn't even do any research before you're like, wow, you're a horrible person. Anyone can have a bad reaction to cannabis products. There have been times where I smoked the wrong kind of weed and I just felt horrible. It ruined my entire fucking day. Okay, I don't smoke weed anymore, but when I did smoke weed, I would smoke sativa and I would feel like complete ass. I can only smoke indica, or if there is sativa in it, if it's a hybrid, it has to be indica dominant. I just know that, I know that sativa is like meth to me. I don't know why, but my brain just does not like it. I feel so bad for both of these families. I feel horrible for Chad, who passed away, and his entire family. He was so young, and I also feel really bad for her because who even knows the trauma that she is going to have to heal from her entire life. And I know that she has the ability to heal because she is alive and he is not. But all signs point to that psychosis was real, and now she has to live forever with the fact that she killed her boyfriend. Who even knows the memory that she has from that and what flashbacks she's getting from that? That is a fucking traumatic thing. And my heart hurts for her even more because the internet took this one little line and ran with it and kind of just made her out to be this evil, psychotic person that used weed as an excuse to get out of a murder case, when that's just not reality. This is definitely one of the crazier cases that I've heard in a really long time. Do you think her sentence was fair? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Subscribe if you have not done so already. But I'm going to end today's video here. As always, I love you guys. Stay safe, stay in recovery, whatever that looks like to you, because there's no wrong motherfucking way to recover, and I'll see y'all in my next one.